Thank you. Okay. Very good. Very good. Om. Namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang today. And welcome also to our many friends who are joining us as they have been for all this season. Friends from all over the world who are tuning in different time zones in order to experience Satsang live with us. So welcome to all of you, welcome everybody. And today, as you are well aware, we have come to the end of the season, but it's not end yet, is it? And so many of you have been here from the beginning. Others have joined along the way. But what I'm sure many of you have begun to recognize, that it has been a sort of journey without distance. What kind of journey is that? What a paradox. That your discovery is right where you are. But the old identity, which created the sense of separateness, is being driven out, if not already out. And we will use this day to see what remains for many of you. But in any case, even if you have only been here for a short time and your attention has been really present with the pointings that you have experienced internally, then some change of a very auspicious nature will, of course, have some effect upon your life in some way. We have pointed that the goal here is not merely beautiful experiences or even miraculous experiences, or that your sadhana is used only as a kind of painkiller or a pacifier, but that you see all of life as opportunity, all your experiences as opportunities to discover, to reflect upon and discover your innate nature as unity with the Supreme Being, pure consciousness. This is not a philosophy for me. It is not an ideology. It is simple fact. It has to become a fact in your heart. Therefore, the emphasis is not on belief necessarily, nor even on strenuous practice, which many people can also be engaged with strenuous practice for a very long time, does not necessarily guarantee that you will somehow come to the ultimate seeing. Ultimately, the ego or the egoic energy or identity must be transcended. Here in Satsang, over this duration of time here, you have witnessed how some have come into this recognition, into this seeing. I don't want to say that there's a finality about that. It could be a beginning also. But certainly something gets broken, a spell of delusion begins to be dissolved, and clear light of real seeing, which doesn't mean seeing of objects clearly, but seeing from the clarity of the pure subject itself. So I am not going to say much more about this because I'm sure that there are people. I want to say something now because this short time we have here, I want you to take it as the most valuable in this respect. In this respect, not merely to show yourself, not merely to say, oh, then at least I see you. It will not be enough. It will not be enough. But more that you have a burning question or something really that needs to be made clear in some way, an approach that is genuine. Otherwise, I'm going to just ask that we postpone that approach if it doesn't feel like it carries the artillery of a true question. So can we move in this way? Because right now, let's say that everyone inside this room, you're covered by grace. You're covered by grace. You're in the pool of grace. So whether you're lying on the floor or standing up or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're covered by grace, which is facilitating the recognition of truth. It doesn't matter if you're at the back or in the middle or at the front. Although I know that people who do come towards the front tend to have a kind of openness, a readiness to be seen and to take use of their opportunity. But all are equal because grace, consciousness, never gets weaker the further it goes. It has no distance. It is equally the same. Okay? So I will start like that. Please, you can come. Mm-hmm.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
First of all, I want to thank you for the main lesson that I got in this journey.
Yes.
And is the way that you spread love on us. And love for me is really the main lesson, even before freedom. There is no freedom for me if there is no love. And this I want really to thank you.
Not.
Last night, I couldn't sleep in the beginning. It was coming to my mind the question that are 3 weeks, 4 weeks, that I want to ask. I got so identified with this question. And then I started breathing, watching my breath. I could let it go, and I was sleeping. And I had a dream about being in a big class where there was a teacher teaching religion. There was no love in her. There was no passion. There was no devotion in teaching religion. And I was feeling I couldn't take it. So at the end of the lesson, I was sharing with people, this is not teaching religion. We have to change this. I don't want to go much more in the dream, but I woke up with a lot of energy, like with a lot of understanding. This is for me, is the day, is my day. And I want to put on your feet all my history, all my story. I want to put on your feet my Sanya's name, my Osho Sanya's name. I was too much identified with it. And it became a burden, something heavy on my shoulder. I want to be free. And I give it to you. I am sorry I give it to you. You received too many things just on your feet. I love you.
Yeah.
And I really thank you.
Yes. In fact, I remember, the words of Christ, because he was speaking to many people who loved him, who had received his message. And he said at one place, "Come, all you who are heavily laden or burdened, come and I will give you rest." Rest. Because anybody who is carrying a burden, you will not rest and you will not experience peace because you have something to do, you have something to carry. And I'm not talking about taking one thing from here and putting it someplace else, but it's like a shackle that you're shackled to something or some idea or some person or some belief, some ideology or something. And it's only good if it serves your freedom, if it serves your joy, if it sets you free. So Jesus had recognized that, and he invited them, you can leave it right here. You can leave that right here. Go your way. You can leave it right here. He gave them permission to leave the burden right here. Anyone who knows the self can say to you, leave your burden right here. Anyone who has realized, recognized, awakened to the pure self can tell you with authority and with love, leave your burden here if you wish to, and be free. Because to not be free is not in service to anything at all in life. And nobody has peace. Nobody in the world seems to have peace. Nobody is resting with peace or in peace. You have to go to the cemetery to see the words rest in peace there. But amongst the living, we don't find this so easy. So, and even I am told also that in some places even the dead are not allowed to rest in peace. I'm told. In one place I hear in France, I'm sure some of you French will know this, that one place, the mayor of a certain village banned people from dying because he says our cemetery is full, we have no place to put you. So it is totally illegal to die between this time and this time until we start it out. But a number of people broke the law. And but this thing of resting in peace is life, actually. It is a quality of life to live in peace and with joy and in freedom. Not that you are merely entitled to that, because we have to taste also the sense of unfreeness, of restrictiveness, of delusion, of confusion, of wrong identity, identifying with what is limited, feeling the squeeze, the suffering that comes out of such states. Why? Because actually you have the advantage always, because in you is the deepest truth. The essence is itself. Your essence is that itself. So you have the advantage. Something compels us to identify personally, and for a while the consciousness will behave as though it is a person. it will feel the limitations. Also, is not just limitation in being a person. There's much joy also in being a person. There's a large sense of freedom also in being a person. You see? There's a great space of discovery, for discovering in being a person. For a while. Yes. And everything in this world is for a while. Because at some point you start to outgrow certain concepts which you have to leave behind. You have to leave them behind. You can't carry them anymore. So that the consciousness raises to a greater height above the sense of personhood, from person to presence. And now experiencing from presence the calamities, the frustrations, the weaknesses, the violence, the insecurities of personhood are left behind when one attains the state of presence, the state I am, which is not combined with any concepts. It is our natural experience, and it is what we are experiencing every day, but you are not aware of it because the mind claims it, and we give a lot of respect for what our mind thinks, our thoughts. But at a certain point, it's like it's taken out of our hands because the pain becomes unbearable. And so it's like constantly giving birth to new states within yourself. Then the birth pains will come, and we will wriggle and squeeze until you pop into your next state, like that. So all this is happening. Pleasure and pain flow unceasingly as the beingness makes its way back to its own source. You have all come from all over the world to come and meet in this place, where I've said for thousands of years, hundreds of years, beings have been gathering here along the banks of Ganga, in the foothills of Himalaya, like this, in search of this very same thing. Many of them found what they came looking for. But they're no more here in their physical form. And I said, now it's our turn. We are the fresh wave of the human experience. It's our turn, our time to discover, to make use of time, to discover the timeless, while this body is still warm, to find that which is imperishable. And this is not poetry, this is total practicality. This is total availability. This is the beauty of the human experience and opportunity to awaken to the truth. It is not a fantasy. And the more that beings wake up to the truth of themselves, then you will become the evidence of that truth exists. Not just go to the library. When you're searching for truth, you go to the library and look for books about truth. No, you'll be able to say, oh, this man, oh yes, this lady, speak to this one is awake or something. But why not you? Why not you? So I feel this time here in Rishikesh, with beings who have been looking deeply into this and experiencing the fruit of their own introspection, realizing that indeed something here shifts out of the way and the great space is revealing itself. And I find that although something of myself seems to be disappearing, at the same time I fully am. And so fears go, because we used to feel that if the things we imagine we are sacrificing for truth goes, then maybe we will make a very big mistake and throw away some very important things. Mm-hmm. But the experience is that as you are offering up, not that you need to go and throw anything away, in fact, if there is something to throw, you will know it. Just like if you have a bone in your throat, you won't be thinking how much nutrients are in it, how much calories are in the bone. No, your reflex will be to take it and throw it away. In the same way, you will know whether something is good for you or not, to throw it. We don't have to put these things into rules and systems. So, for this reason you come. You have come now, a very mature stage for someone to say, I want to leave this. I choose, not just want, I choose to leave this right here. So, as you have chosen, no? Because I want means something soon, later. But I choose is now. So you choose and you leave now. And what remains now? It's finished. You say, I leave it. If you have some weight in you're walking around and your arms are aching, but there's nowhere to put it. There's nowhere to put anything. And then someone say, you say, please, can I put it in someplace? And people say, there's no space. There's no space. Please help me. And somebody say, come here. Here. Will you be going, where exactly? No. You want to put it down. Then you put it down immediately, isn't it? And then what is the result of that?
It's freedom.
Freedom, isn't
Freedom.
it? Is it intellectual freedom?
No, it's freedom for my heart.
Thank you. And if the mind said, you put it in the wrong position. Huh? Because he does that, you put it in the wrong position. The man said there. Because you will be tested, you see. Along the way, life tests. Not to make you trip up necessarily. You can look at it like that. But really to test your strength. We need some trouble. We need some friction. You see, it is as though consciousness creates the sense of a problem in order to have the experience of transcending it. When you know this, then you don't take it personally. Just let the game be played. You see, when you are aware that without yourself, the game does not even exist because you are the witness of this game even. You are the witness of the game. And nothing touches that witness. So this freedom, what is going to prevent this freedom from getting all cluttered up again? And then, the mind comes in and, I was free, Mooji. Last year I was free for 3 weeks. I said, 3 weeks? Oh, okay. What happened? Because people say, actually. Some people say, for 3 hours, I was it. I said, really? 3 hours, really? You were the infinite for 3 hours. Amazing. You were the timeless for 3 hours. Wow, it's very good. What happened?
It will not happen to me.
It will not happen. Something will try to convince the mind, wherever there have been any weakness, wherever there has been any hesitation or doubt, that little worm is going to try and go through that hole and wriggle. Okay? Can you bear this assault? Yes, you can. Of course you can. You're more powerful than all these things put together.
You say, when you were talking in the beginning, this journey that we did in these weeks, For the first 3 weeks, I was so much identified with myself. I was suffering. I was resisting. Nothing was right for me here. I was just here. And then I did this journey and I wrote you a letter. I
Yes.
wanted to talk privately with you.
Yes, yes. Yes.
It was such a, this already made me relaxing more.
Yes.
And then the private meeting that I was asking was not happening,
Yeah.
but was happening recognizing the love that you have, the love that you give to me anyway, made me going from here till here. And thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good. First to the microphone, basically. First to the microphone, basically.
Mooji. Namaste, dear Mooji.
Namaste,
Sangha.
namaste. Yeah.
And thank you so much to every Sangha in the world. It's so beautiful, the power of true love and opening. Mooji, my mom has been my greatest guru. And when I was very little, she told me the true meaning of your life is to reveal the truth that you are. And you are just consciousness and love. And that's life. And that's a blessing. And then the story is not relevant. I'm present, and I'm love, and I'm the longing, and I'm the aspiration, and then I fade away in the personality. And the way that this happens comes about concepts of faith, devotion, and grace. I just ask you to please help me to reveal the concepts I made up, and that I give the attention and the strength to take me away from what I feel.
Yes. Yes.
Just this, what is faith, what is devotion, what is grace?
Yes. Yes. If I tell you, and if you hear it only as concepts, they will not help you. Everyone has inbuilt in them the capacity for faith and for devotion. Your life is, in fact, expression of faith, devotion, love even, but sometimes directed in a much weaker direction for other things. But in your case, you say, your mother told you something from the very first few words, you say, that your life should be the expression of consciousness. She said this to you. Not only the expression of consciousness, the revealed self, but also the weakness of consciousness also. Now this is a very important pointer, because In the waking state, the world that we perceive in the waking state, including ourselves in it, because it seems as though we're in this waking state, one citizen amongst billions. But however many billions there are, all of them are appearing in your view. You are the witness of them. You are the witness of them, isn't it? They report, all the senses are reporting to something here. You may say to consciousness. So also when it comes to the place now where you say that, but I experience that I am the consciousness and there's love and this. But then what happened? You said?
Then the way that the identification comes,
Yeah.
like the sabotage, the auto-sabotage,
Yes.
it comes in forms of doubts
Yes.
about faith,
Yes.
devotion,
Yes.
and grace.
Yes. So who is affected by this doubt? You must find out. This is something I've been trying to convey. I don't know how many people get it, but if you do get it, it's worth 1,000 pints. Okay? If you get this, because it's going to break down or what you may deconstruct a lot of false concepts, if you can understand what I'm pointing to now. Because everyone assume the identity they're presently wearing, who you take yourself to be right now, to be a fact. We all take it, that's how I am, that's what I think, there's nothing I can do about it. I can learn, I can grow, but I am just this. And that is not true, in fact. We have been many different ideas, many different versions of selves. We've tried them on like different garments, actually. We tried things out until you see that they're not you and you give them up. So, which is the real you in all of this? So somehow, this feeling that now doubts are coming, is your devotion real? You see? Do you really have devotion? And, you may think you're so devoted, but I mean, you want these things as well. Where does that come in? And, so doubts are coming. So to whom is this voice speaking to? Who is the voice speaking to? Now, very few people will catch this because the assumption would be, the reflex assumption would be, well, it's to me.
No,
Why would I question any further? It's to me, it's coming. It's not anybody else's problem, it's my problem. Then I will tell you, okay, you see, that you're speaking are obviously personal, isn't it? Are you personal or impersonal?
Impersonal.
Right. So if you are impersonal, okay, could this voice have any real impact on you if you are impersonal? The impersonal cannot be failing at something. Again, let's go over it again. Somebody says, you're not quite ready, you're not mature enough for this, for instance. You're not yet mature enough for this. You're running ahead of yourself. You need to go back and do this more, whatever. And all of these are like little stabs. You're taking this assault, no? Who are you who is suffering this attack, you see? And nobody questions this. They more say, oh, my mind is so terrible, my mind is so strong, my mind says all these things, how can I break my mind, and so on. But the mind is actually doing a good job also, for one who is smart, because he can only intimidate the idea you have of who you are. It cannot intimidate your true self. It cannot intimidate your God self. It can only intimidate your false self, your mixed up self. Mixed up meaning that whether you're ego or, whatever stage of ego, it is still a mixture of ego and consciousness, presence. It's never just something called ego. Ego is also consciousness, but it's a very restricted form of consciousness, very limited, shaped upon, formed by the belief, I am just this body, and whatever conditioning came to this body We say, this is me. There's a very, very small functioning of consciousness there. And the nature of the consciousness in its human expression is to expand, to grow, and to grow out of all these contractions and to return to its original nature, which is pure and untarnished nature, which it is always that, but in the dream of life, it believes itself to be a person with very restricted identity and restricted life and opportunities and so on. I don't know how many people really get this. Can I get a show of hands if you understand what I'm speaking? This is very good already. This is very good. This is very good. So, again, you must come back to this question, just this question. Because when you hit the right question, like this, meaning a question that is risky for your ego, means it's a question or an introspection that can expose the ego or the falsity of the ego, you are going to experience some distractions. It is as though there's a power inside that does not want you to find the truth. You're looking, so who exactly, to try and identify when I say me, beyond the assumption that I'm just this person. Is there more than this? What exactly is this me? What does it look like? Is it merely the face I see in the mirror, or is there more to this me? And you're looking in. If you are genuine, if your search is authentic, very often what may come is suddenly you start thinking of chocolates or something. Or, oh, I forgot to send this email, I better send it now. Some kind of force is coming in to blur, or you forget your question. And what this indicates is because you're onto something. You're onto something, and this resistant energy, you see, is throwing stones in the bush, basically, to get your attention looking somewhere else and to take you off the scent, so to speak. Let's put it like that. And very many people, they give up. They say, no, this question is just too technical, it's too intellectual for me, it's too mental, and so on. And then, basically, that's exactly what your psychological mind wants you to do. So you give up this question, because what? It is the most unsparing tool at exposing the unreality of the ego. Because once that is exposed, you're out of the net. It's like there's a net that's been thrown over the whole universe. Imagine a huge net thrown into the ocean, and billions of creatures are caught in this net. And it's all being pulled in, and they're all tight. Some of them are already dead in the net. But some just wriggle, and out. He's free, gone. You have to be this fish is out of the net. And this is out to be out of this net. Okay? Out of this net. Again, this voice seems to convince you, if you believe it, oh, I don't have enough devotion. If you believe this, then already you're separated. I don't have enough devotion, so I'm not going to reach my goal. You purchase one, you get another 5 free. Okay? One of these delusions, you get 5 more come free of cost. Because if I am not have enough devotion, then I'm not ready, then maybe I won't get it in this lifetime, and then all my efforts are wasted. I fail my mother's voice, all these different things that's coming up. Just this. I don't have enough devotion and all of this. So it's important to really be clear who is the voice speaking to. And if you just assume it's me, you go no further. If you go no further than this, then your only action will go again outward. And you start to, again, working with phenomena. But if you find out this one is only the idea I have of myself, that is what is feeling attacked. is the idea I have of who I am. My self-image is under attack. Who I am believing I am is under attack. But who you are believing you are is not what you are. You see? Because that in a short time will break down and a new identity will come. So don't purchase that so strongly. Now let's come from there. This sense of the person, I ask you to look and see if you can find it. Can it be identified? And right about now, we start to fade. Like the interest is going, the focus is weakening. Why is it weakening? Because you're going so far? No, because you're coming so near. And something's just kind of like, don't want to go there. That's what's happening. You get confused. You say, I'm confused, I'm all lost. And I say, if you feel confused, also confuse your observing. Something, it is being observed. The feeling of, I don't get this. That voice, who is speaking? I don't get this. This is also just a thought, a reaction that comes from the past. It is not real. There's no person there who is saying, I don't get it. Do you get it? Something is saying, I just don't get it. It's just too difficult. Can we, you see? And that's believed. When you believe this, resistance comes for what I'm speaking. But if you stay open, even though it feels challenging, you may just break right through it. And I want to know if you're up for this, you see? Identity is the only thing that is creating the feeling of separation and of pain, suffering, which are not truths. They are not truth of who you are. You are the weakness of all of this, the untouched weakness. Look, the ego can also weakness. The ego sense can also weakness. But when the ego weaknesses, it weaknesses only with self-interest. You see? As soon as that is recognized, a wider witnessing is recognized, where even the ego or the person is seen. You see? Then, from this position where the person is seen, that place is absence of person. Absence of person. Are you able to see from there? Like the story, all of this, the one who is in the box, all of that is just evaporated because it has no power. When you're believing in it, it's right here, it's very present. When you see it with some detachment, it has no power. You can't even talk about it anymore. It has no fascination at all. Like this. Give me some feedback. What's happening to you right now? What's happening?
A combination.
Speak.
It's a combination.
Yes.
Of gratitude and quietness.
Yes. But don't just settle for that, Quietness is fine, gratitude is fine. But you came for freedom, isn't it? So you push on. You must take me on and get somewhere. Don't leave any question unasked if it's something important for you. Because I'm trying to feel you.
I feel dizzy.
Huh?
I feel very dizzy.
Dizzy. Okay, let's start there. Because it's important that you speak honestly. Because I'm trying to feel you. As soon as I feel that there's some oxygen in you, then we can do something. But if you start to fade
I'm just trying to be and not go. So
okay. But even you say you feel what happened? You're dizzy.
yes.
Okay, so even the feeling of dizziness is something observed, dizziness,
Yes.
isn't it? It's observed. So that if the dizziness go, it is also observed. So that which is observing dizziness, is that dizzy?
No.
Be clear, be clear. Dizziness is felt. The body feels, oh, oh, oh. You feel it, no? Okay? That which is observing the dizziness, is that dizzy?
No.
No. Okay? Now, what happened to the dizziness?
It's there.
Huh?
It's there.
Huh?
It's there.
It's there.
Yes.
Okay, it can be there. But do you feel it's blocking anything?
No, I didn't feel blocked.
No.
No.
Okay,
No,
okay.
since the beginning. It's,
Oh.
it's just
Yes.
there.
Okay. Anything else? Is anything in the way of your truth? Why are you not a living Buddha now? I'm asking. Hmm?
Just concepts.
Hmm?
Just the concepts.
This concept. That you are not the Buddha is a concept. That you are a Buddha is also a concept.
Yes.
That you
It is
need more
the-
devotion is
well-
also a concept. Can we try that also?
Yes.
Yeah? Because sometimes we're afraid that if you do admit that, you're going to become arrogant. Sometimes it's a feeling, if I say that, oh my God, then I'll be just arrogant and I'll just start to say, I don't need anything and I don't, like this. No, but if you walk down this...
I'm the opposite. Like when
Okay.
I identified I'm the opposite of arrogance, I'm like I'm not good enough. It's the opposite. The sabotage comes from
Okay.
not.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What about if you don't embrace any particular, any tags? No
Yeah.
tags, no identity, no intention for it?
That happens from time to time, and I'm just happy and
Yes.
pleased out.
Okay. And then? What happened?
And
Then identity creeps in
identity comes, yes.
again. And if you merely observe the identity creeping in, you observe identity creeping in, but you don't get pulled, sucked into it, you don't identify with the feeling of identity coming in. Is it possible?
It is possible.
Yeah. You feel the energy of it. Something is feeling identified, but you're at a good
Yeah.
distance from that.
Yeah, I just sometimes
Sometimes.
sometimes just some years pass, and sometimes it's always witnessing for
Yes.
a period.
Yes.
Sometimes the periods are very long. Sometimes I just forget, and somehow I get
It is
back in
important.
track.
It is important that you come to a state of neutrality. When you experience the state of neutrality, then it is effortless.
Yeah.
It's not that you're on duty.
Yeah,
Understand?
I'm always on duty.
Because if you're on duty, then you will always make some mistake. You'll fall asleep at the desk or something. Is it?
Yes.
So you must find that neutrality which is not being sustained by any person. When I ask sometimes, what is it in you that requires no effort? Just now I ask again, and takes no time. It takes no time to be itself. Can I put this question to everybody now? It's a good question to put again at the end of this time here. What is it that requires no time to be what it is and requires no effort to be what it is? And I don't just want the mental answer, because the answer is a living truth. Don't give it to your mind. If you give it to the mind, then the mind is going to... No, we don't give it to the mind. It is so you that you don't think about it. It's so naturally yourself, you don't think about it. You think about everything else, which is not you. But about you, you don't think. Nor need you think about it, in fact. But it must be clear when you are so caught up, when we are so caught up in the false identity, it is good again to be reminded of what we are. And as soon as it is recognized freshly, all the wrong ideas drop away by themselves. If you are practicing a lot to get back to who you are, there's some scam about it. There is something is not true about it. Like, where exactly over the hill is your other self, your real self? That you have to climb this fence and swim this ocean, and jump out of this aircraft and so on, to get to yourself. That is completely ridiculous. How much distance from you is the true? Only the distance of thought. Thought creates separation. Thought creates the sense of distance, which is very believable in the realm of duality, in the realm of phenomenality. Do we understand this thing? In the realm of duality, all this will seem completely correct. Something is missing, let's go look for it. It must be some distance away. It must take some energy. I need some help to get there, and so and so and so, like that. It will just take, sometimes when you have a deep stain in your clothes, you may have to soak it in boiling water for a few hours. For some stains, a quick hand wash is gone. For others, strong boil, heavy duty machine still can't get them out. And still the stain does not belong to the garment. Okay. Thank you. You there? Yes, let me hear what you say. If you're coming to the microphone, don't hold back.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
Namaste to all the divine beings present here. I came to know about Sri Ramana only, say, few months back. And I was so sorry that why I was not born when he was there. Then I came to know about Papaji, and I was again even sadder that he was there and I just couldn't go. Then I came to know about you. I had to come here, whatever may. I tried very hard asking different people if they would come along with me. I failed. Then I broke down, I cried, I prayed to you, please call me. Or I'm going to give up all this search for good. Then I wrote to you, and look, here I am. I'm standing here in front of you, in front of everybody. It's your grace and only your grace that brought me here. All the efforts are futile. I came to this place, and this place, Rishikesh, doesn't seem unfamiliar, doesn't seem to be new to me. You don't seem to be unfamiliar at all. I pray to you, kindly shower your grace. Kindly take over this being in you, inside you, for good. It feels it has been separated for many lifetimes. It feels it had met dead end many lifetimes. Doesn't want to be same again, ever, ever again. Please take it.
Let's go to a dead end. Let's go to a dead end together. Because people have some ideas like this. I've come to a dead end. I've come to a dead end. They say, oh, can I come with you? I want to come to a dead end with you. Can you show me one dead end? Or I've come to the end of the road, they say. Please, let me come be at the end of the road with you. Because at the end of the road or a dead end is a very exciting moment. If you're walking the plank, if you're on the ship and they tell you, hello, you walk the plank today. And you walk, pum, 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 pum. Last step. You're not going to go to sleep right there. So something is going to so wake up in you. Sometimes life has to bring you to a crisis moment in order to get the best out of you. Too much comfort, you go to sleep. Too much comfort, you go to sleep. So it is a gift to be brought to a situation that you know nothing about, you have no control, run out of moves also. No technique. And now what? All humanity fears this moment. Sometimes people ask, will you give me a push, Mooji? But when they're really there, they say, no, don't push, please, don't push. No, please, give me a hand, So what is this dead end? The dead end is not something out there, it is showing you something in here. And I want to know if we can go there together. We don't have to go and walk any plank. Or go to some place to where the road ends physically. No, there's some place inside. Where you feel, I have no more strength. I don't have what it takes. I cannot go further one more. And I want you to find out something.
There is this. Hello. There was this point in this mind here, over here, where it used to feel very constricted and tight.
Yes.
And it somehow made my head heavy. Today,
Yes.
there is a change. I feel light,
Yes.
free,
Yes.
peaceful.
Yes. Yes. What happened to dead end? Very often it is like this, when people experience a crisis moment, their life comes fully alive or something. You begin to appreciate life and the great possibilities that life offers through consciousness and mind. to somehow experience, discover your innate power. Otherwise, we can live life and somehow not discover the great beauty and strength that is here. Simply because you allow the mind to cheat you by interpreting and believing in the mental interpretations rather than let go into the experience, you see. And very often we are acting too prematurely, out of habit. The mental energies tend to be very high in the treble. And in satsang, they gently slow down towards the heart's vibration. And when they meet they equalize out. Something feels very easy here. And when that happens, then you're able to understand what I'm speaking very easy without using your mind. Just, you know it, you just know it. And in life, you're not so much, like I say, pulling the parachute too early. You're able to sit back and not panic so quickly, because the mind is saying, red button, panic. And something is going, no, let's go now. And somebody is saying, wait. And you're not sure which voice is true. But gradually you become, again, aware of the real sense, the real vibration, and move with this. And then everything else, those days are over once you have discovered this. All of that is still in the state of personhood. Feeling good, great, for a few hours, a few days, it's fine. It's not enough. It's not feeling great all the time. I don't know, feeling great all the time. Just being true, not as an action that you make, but in the realization of what is true. This is the thing, you see? Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for this opportunity. Thank
Very
you
good.
so much for your love and grace.
Very good, very good.
It'll be there with me, I know, always. It's me. I mean, there's no difference.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Very good. Jump. You want to come? Yeah. Hi.
There's kind of a story for this, so I'll start. I've been kind of shy to come up here, and I've had this question for like 3 weeks, and everything was pointing for me to come up. So like, first off, a few weeks ago, a guy walked past and he had written on his shirt, "Fear is temporary, but quitting is forever."
Wow, heavy.
Yeah. And then another thing was, I felt as if you were staring directly at me and wanting me to directly come up and ask you a question.
Yes.
And yeah. So my question is, when finding the self or the truth, does it have anything to do with age?
No, it doesn't have anything to do with age. In itself, it has nothing to do with age. If that question is relevant, it's relevant only that in the realm of human existence, we tend to, and it varies from place to place. In the East, may have a certain paradigm that is followed. In the West, we have a different way. Like lots of energy is gone into building a career and so on, a family and all of this. And then later on, when we retire, very often, you know, and then, you're pretty much washed up and stuff, then, then we'll give God a look in or something. But of course, there's no law like this. It's not prioritized in a broad speaking way. But there are many, many young people you will see in satsang. Many, many young people also are coming to satsang. Children also, who are very, very present and also grasp what I'm speaking about, sometimes quicker than adults. It's amazing. Quicker, I have some children come, 4 or 5-year-old ones come, and excuse me, and that's straight in. And so it is not to do with age, no.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I had to say.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very much welcome, You are just the perfect age, by the way.
Oh.
Okay. No. Yeah.
Ji,
Namaste.
in the morning I came with a question, and then you called other people. I felt that these pointings you gave them, they were destroying all this, because it was such a concept I had, but which was seemed very true. And I was following all these pointings and felt myself in a very constructed state, like I tried to look, I tried to observe something, then again I tried to observe this, and something like, I don't know, very strange state and still some construction.
Yes.
Like I'm squeezing.
You must
something.
always finish off in your inquiry on you. Not on object, but on subject. If you finish on object, you're left with kind of experience. Oh, I'm still, But you finish that, ultimately, it is perceived in this space, and this space is not personal. You see, this is where it comes back. This is where the real seeing, this is the vast seeing, whose light never goes out, who is not attached to any phenomenon that appears in view. And yet it is the source of all manifestation, you see. There is the reactive dimension, the conscious field, like you say, in the waking state, you're moving about, your senses are functioning, you're moving in some response to them. The mind also is functioning, memory, intellect, all of this, perception is functioning, everything like that. And if you're able to, in this vast field of dynamic activity, to retain your serenity, your stillness, not as somebody doing it, but simply that this is the source which is not directly participating in any action, but without whose light no action can be seen to appear or disappear or exist at all. If you come to that recognition, you have conquered the whole world. Jesus also spoke, and he spoke like this. He says, when the disciples were talking, and he said, trust in God, trust also in me, for I have overcome the world. What is this word overcome? What world is he speaking about? He hardly traveled anywhere. I don't think he came to Japan or to United States or to Glasgow or to Jamaica. I don't think he showed up there and nothing like that. What right has he got to say, I have overcome the world? What kind of world? Not merely the earth not trouble, but the world, meaning the collective expression of the world in its psychological aspect. I know that world, he says, and I have transcended its influence now. No more on the hypnosis of conditioning and misconceptions. Having transcended that, what did he do to transcend it? What you are discovering now also is transcending it. Let these scriptures be alive again in you, because without you, they have no life. It is you that bring them to life. When I point you to the weakness initially, you begin to observe and discover the wonderful power in observing without attachment rather. You already begin to feel the sense of your inner world or space expanding so much. And though it is expanding, you don't feel that you're being spread thin. Because as much as it expands, you're still fully present. You're still fully you. But the mind, in its logical training, cannot appreciate that. It has got to be experienced. How can someone say, the entire universe is in me? Which scientist is going to understand that? Who understands, yes, I am in the body, but the body is also in me. And not just this body, but every body that is perceived arises in my consciousness. It is so much time now to allow yourself to embody this understanding. Because whatever it is that you can gain from this world, time says, all that belongs to me. Every phenomenon, everything that you perceive, that you imagine, everything you can touch or sense or possess, including your body, all this belongs to me. Time say this. There is only one thing that does not belong to me, and that is pure awareness. For in pure awareness, I myself become only a phenomenon. Why don't you grasp this? Why don't you grasp this? So that you don't only hear me, what I speak, but experience what I share with you, so that you can confirm for your own self if this is true or not. You will not have to be inquiring for all your life. Inquiry. Inquiry actually is a joy. It is a joy. Initially, it can feel like it's a challenge, it's boring, it's mental, because who is saying that? Mr. Mind. Mind is saying, oh, it's boring and it's so mental. Mind is saying, it's so mental, so intellectual, you know? You know? That's what the mind is saying. But it gets away with it because you imagine it's you who's saying it. So this. But it's not that it's the mind by itself saying it. It is saying that with your assistance and your permission also. Because mind is nothing by itself. It only becomes something through a relationship that is created with the sense of being and the sense of becomingness. But whatever it is observed. There will come a time, perhaps today it will be that time, when you'll know that the entire waking state, for instance, because if your name is John, you cannot be John for 24 hours every day. Because when you go to sleep for 7 or 8 hours, you're not John. You can only be John for 16 or 17 hours maximum each day. Then you are not John. If you have a bank account, it only exists in your waking state. It only has meaning and relevance for you in your waking state. The full play of the waking state consciousness, all that manifests as the waking state, and the perceiver of it, the experiencer of it, and the act of experiencing, all of that is the content and the play of the waking state, including the sense of yourself perceiving it, is the content and the play of the waking state consciousness. What will see this? What sees this? The self. The self. Where is the self? Well, where is it not? It is you. But you without you. Meaning you without your person, you see? Beyond the person. Presently the person is given tremendous significance. But in the light of real understanding, the person shrinks to a very, very small thing. Like sometimes you can see the moon, even when the sun is present, you can see the moon. But nobody notices it. Nobody notices the moon when the sun is here. When the sun is not here, you see the moon. Oh, we write poetry to the moon. But when the sun is present, nobody notices this moon. In the same way, in the seeming absence of real jnana or real understanding, the moon mind feels like it's an emperor. But as soon as the light of the sun, the heart sun, shines, then this moon mind becomes insignificant. This is why, as you somehow deepen in your experience and confirmation of the self, the mind becomes less significant. It remains as a servant to functionality, practical functioning, but you don't need it for its psychological play when you know who you are. And then the mind, the relationship with mind is correct. Then the mind comes back to its natural state. And the natural mind and the self, they are one. But as long as you persist in being the ego, then the mind will be the adversary playing the friend of this ego. And it is necessary because it is a kind of necessary for the consciousness in its aspect as ego to grow and to come back into its correct nature. Now, somehow something you say triggered this.
Yeah, just feeling kind of lost, like in nowhere,
Yes,
like empty.
yes.
It's the same strange.
But empty and lost is not the same.
Yes. Yes.
You see?
Yes,
Empty
not the
and
same.
lost is not the same. Sometimes empty is found. It's the mind that says it's lost.
Yes.
You see? And it's in subtle things like that that you can feel, oh my God, I need to be grounded, grounded, like this. Because the mind is telling you, oh, I'm floating off like some helium-filled balloon or something, And then you're reminded, but you're here, you're totally here. You're kind of everywhere here, but you're not floating off. And then you somehow understand in your heart again, and there's no panic. Emptiness is the most beautiful state, because it's not empty, dull. It's not empty, stagnant. It's not empty, sterile. It is empty and at the same time complete. Contentment. Lacking nothing. So it is the most advanced, if you want to call it a state. So get used to, get familiar, and accept the feelings of emptiness. It's okay. Because a lot of tradition fights against emptiness. Mostly your parents will not encourage you in this. Because nobody brings anybody up to be empty or to be nobody. You're brought up to be the best somebody you can be. So until someone has that intuitive recognition, they will feel threatened by, they'll say, oh my God, she gave up her life. She's off the radar. She's off the radar screen now. She's given up her life or something. Because they imagine that you're going to be a vagabond walking on the street begging. You see, begging for your meals and people take advantage of you. But that is not an awakened being. Although it can play through that as well. Why not? It's not the state of your outer appearance. It's your inner being that really matters.
Yes. Some moments when I get this lost feeling, I just try to concentrate on the heart and feel like surrendering on the energy. And this moment I feel very peace, quiet, but still person with like habits, conditioning, it pulls me out. And then again, this process of inquiry starts, and it's like...
Yes, whatever gets pulled out, also you must understand, whatever gets pulled out and come back in is not the ultimate self. It is your attention that goes out and come back. It's not you, you're not yet. We're so used to calling lesser things yourself. At one time you can then say, all this is myself, you may say one time, when you come to really realize that. But right now, no. We give a lot of things, a lot of positions of identity, the accolade, we give it the respect of the self, which is not the self yet. The self is untouched, unmoving, imperishable, timeless, ever perfect, the source of all existence, the great God. It is not, oh, do you want to go down there? No, I don't. Oh my gosh, never mind. And something pulls me out and pull me. That one is not yet, that's your costume. That's the mask. That is something that we'll wear for a while. But when I ask you, but you're aware of this, no? This sense of being pulled out and in. Because when you're being pulled out, there's something that is not pulled out. And it's not coming back in. When the coming back in sense come, you are there to witness the sense of coming back in. You must really firm up in your understanding of this. This path and this direction that is being revealed to you, it can feel to be the most difficult, precisely because it is the most straight, it is the most simple, it's the most innocent, it's the most immediate. And very often we are quick to miss the obvious. We follow the mind's lead to go on long journeys, only to come back to the place where you started and then say, oh my gosh, it was here all the time. All of it is consciousness's game and play. That's fine also.
Thank you, Mooji.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay, you go.
Lately, I've been experiencing a lot of joy in my heart for different experiences. Some people consider them painful experiences, and I was feeling joy there. But also, recently, I've been experiencing like nothing, just like nothing.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I feel like I'm missing the joy. Like I'm not supposed to feel joy in this situation. I'm feeling nothing, and I see everyone hugging and kissing and stuff, and it's like I just don't feel like doing anything. And so
trust your state. Your state you will not know by comparing with other people. You see?
it's me comparing. Yeah, I guess my old self, right?
Well, what happens is that, hugging and kissing and laughing and shouting is not necessarily evidence that the self is realized or something like that. Although it can show itself in such joyous ways, why not? No? But also a deep silence also can happen. Many people are unable to speak. There's no standard response. Someone will just be laughing and 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 laughing, and then people are looking at them. They're laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing, and you go away, you have dinner and come back. They're still laughing and laughing and laughing. You ask them, what you laughing about? They're laughing, 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 nothing. They don't. There's no joke, but they're just there's something is laughing. The universe is laughing. Another one is crying, 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 crying. I say, what's wrong? Nothing wrong, nothing wrong. You cannot measure on things like this, you know. One time in Ukraine, it was like this. We were just on the platform, and then there's one day, everything is exploding all over the place. People, and we are calling, okay, bring it on the stage, bring up here, bring them. They all come up there on the stage. And at the time, we had some of the Satsang bhajan singers singing, remember who you are. And, and all these people, it was very, very biblical. And some people are sort of, is everything okay? Yes. Some screaming, what's happening? Freedom, freedom, freedom. So how you are going to, what is the signs to say? You see? Just, you cannot use that. So you feel a deep sense of peace or, just emptiness. And no other reading, that no other pulse is being taken. There's not, oh my God, there's nothing, just emptiness, like that. But also the feeling, but there's only emptiness. You should not purchase that from the mind. Don't let the mind say, there's just emptiness. All there is emptiness. Be empty of that thought also. And stay there. And don't wait. Waiting is a mental involvement. Just be. The mind is going to try very much to disturb this, to tell you it's not quite what should be happening. Yeah? This nothing should not be happening. You see? Something should be happening. You see, like this. And, if you go with the whole tendencies, you might feel, oh my gosh, I really got the wrong, I got the booby prize. I didn't get the proper awakening. Mooji, I got the emptiness, but the joy is missing. Should I come back? So you don't worry about that. So now it is like this. Just emptiness is there now.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So now you don't touch that anything is missing. Don't hold this idea. There's no joy. There's no excitement. Don't worry for that. Nothing is wrong with this. Okay? This is exactly what consciousness wishes to be and to experience right now. You follow? Just be with that. Okay? You can talk. Somebody talk, you can talk. But maybe you don't feel passionate about anything or have any strong ideas about anything. Your mind has been relieved of this type of nuisance energy. And you can be more open. You're like just an open space in which life dances through and is observed, but without any deep emotional or psychological reaction. Just be like this. Don't say, but when is the peace going to come or something? No, just be. This is beautiful. 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 When it's ready now, in fact, this is so beautiful because normally we taste first the honey. First, you came to this because you taste some honey. And the honey is some joy, some divine lightness, some peace, some vision or something. And you say, I would love to have more of that. Let's go more honey. And like this. So you enjoy, no? And I say, you want to taste the honey, you don't want to be the honey. You see? But as you continue to not just pursue the taste, but just keep recognizing that the taste is enjoyed, but without identity, you come to find that somehow you are the honey, and you are tasting the honey at the same time, if we can use this metaphor. Without trying, don't set any goals. You stay only as the awareness itself. And you find that everything seems to come right. Don't be watching for when some new state comes. Just forget about everything. All that the mind wants to do. Mind wants to measure and to evaluate and to say how much you are growing and this kind of stuff. You leave everything.
And that makes me leave the mind aside, and it's like I feel like no planning for work, for anything, but I'm supposed to keep doing that. So it's like what I'm supposed to do next. Like it's like I feel like no planning at all anymore.
No planning at all. Okay.
But I should keep a life in this body.
No, the life is keeping you. You're keeping the life in this body. I mean, you look at all around you here. Do you see this tree there? You think it's thinking, I think maybe in another few days I put another leaf. Let me see. No, let's wait. Maybe this one. No, it doesn't calculate anything at all.
Right.
It simply unfold. And this is where your trust will come. Because very much at the heart of human suffering, lack of trust. We are so habituated and trained to manage existence. Like we're the one to manipulate and to manage existence, so that we feel that without these skills, everything is going to fall apart. But all that falls apart is our delusions, and our arrogance will fall apart. And are you willing to take this risk for freedom?
Ay, ay, ay.
And it's not that, oh, well, I cannot say how your path will open up in front of you. But I'll tell you, if you trust, your existence will be a beautiful expression of divinity.
So yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Like this. Like this. Let's keep it simple. Why not? Why not? Okay. Want some. One to come strongly. Is you? You have a clear question for me? Okay.
Like the lady before said, there is no need to plan anything. It's just joy. I don't feel like doing anything. But there is it in the morning when you wake up so peaceful. There is such a burning here, like an urge to apologize for being here, for existence.
Yes.
Why? I can see it is so strong. It comes. Like,
So you're saying when you wake up, from the moment you wake up, there's like a fire in your heart, but it's pain. Is it pain?
Yeah, it's like burning.
Yeah, but
burning
is
here,
burning
so-
and pain the same thing? Because
No,
many people have experienced burning. Is it same as pain? Is it been all painful? Because sometimes it is burning because some things are coming up and you're facing some deep attachments are coming to the surface, and like you're seeing them that they're not supporting your love, they're not supporting your freedom. And though there's some attachment, you're offering it up to the fire, and like there's some pain is felt for a while. But it is a kind of detox in some level, isn't it? It has been a kind of a bleeding off, of these. Maybe you may say suppressed energies. They're coming up, or old hurts and things that you have held on to consciously or unconsciously. They're bubbling up, and like this, I said, this is good, and it may feel painful, uncomfortable, but you will know if this is good, if it's your good fortune or bad luck. You see? If you feel it is good fortune, then you say, yeah, burn on. Burn on. Burn fully. Leave nothing unburnt. But if it's pain everywhere, and then you feel, you know what, I don't want to burn anything. Well, if you felt I don't want to burn anything, the burning will stop, actually. Because it's not forced upon you. You see? You ask for something, it's like, it seems as though sometimes you ask God, please, Lord, help me to be more empty and to be more quiet. Please bless me. And then it seems like God puts two fingers down your throat. Whoa, I didn't want that, I mean, but actually, thank you, it feels better, but next time warn me that's coming. Whoop. You know? You cannot decide the medicine. You just go for the cure. You want something to be finished. Then you leave it to life that will bring you the best, quickest, and most effective cure. But you say again that I was feeling there's something beautiful in what you're saying, that you wake up in the morning, you feel this burning, and?
Just wants to apologize for being here. Just that he's not happy because I am happy. Because I am...
You're happy.
I just don't want anything, and I feel good with it. So it doesn't want it. It's very...
Okay, say it again really clearly in the mic, because I'm mishearing something, I think.
It is very peaceful.
Yes.
Doesn't want anything.
Aha.
It's a peaceful joy. And then it comes really burning, like, no, you're not supposed to be feeling empty and just being.
Oh, so this voice, you must know this voice.
I've been giving a lot of...
Yeah, it's the same guy. It's the same guy. He's showing up all over the world. Sometimes he's a woman, sometimes a man, sometimes, he's the same guy, actually. He speaks inside your head, Yeah, you don't want to be like that. It's not right to be empty. You're not supposed to be so like, something like that. And we listened to this voice for a very, very long time. But you want him to be there still after all this? No, then you just ignore him. He'll go away. Ignore him. He has plenty of other customers, But he still doesn't want to lose one. The biggest mafia in the whole world. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Okay, come please. Yes, yes.
I'm not sure what I'm bringing up, but it's relevant to everyone because somehow we are all here and we're facing truth, and truth is exploding inside. And at the same time, I have witnessed that strong forces come to bring resistance, especially when something as powerful as this is taking place. And I have the privilege to work with the international Sangha, with the different Mooji Sangha groups around the world. And what has come up is that those who meet and gather to watch broadcasts or videos of Satsang find, and I've experienced this great support of the Sangha, and how the Sangha, just being in the Sangha and around Satsang, and how different it is sometimes to watch a broadcast from home, just making a cup of tea in between, or cleaning the house, or just meeting in a place where people are drawn to somehow make a Satsang hall of their living room, and you enter, often through the broadcast, you enter this room. And
yes.
So I just want to bring it up because sometimes what the different people who organize Satsang said was that people just find it easier to be at home and watch the Satsang, which is fine, but somehow we have felt the strength of being together in this somehow.
I understand what you're saying. I understand. Yeah. Okay, very good. I was aware of this. Anyway, something brought my attention like this. Now you're refreshing that. And so maybe I can just say a couple of words on this. Because there are people, of course, the broadcasts are going all over the world. It's available for everybody. But what Mirabai was saying is that, groups, certain people have come together to form a kind of a localized, local sanghas in different parts of the world, in order that people who are called by the same voice can meet together and enjoy like a broadcast in this type of setting, like watching together as one sangha rather than as individuals watching in their own time. And although that's the most appealing way for many people, like it's very convenient, I'm at home, I just put it on, I can just do my own thing, it feels more like it's a bit more resistance to go to where the gatherings are. But we are encouraging people to do this because you get a lot more support energetically when you're in a sangha. Sometimes discussions open up, people can participate, and rarely do people attend this type of gathering and then feel that it wasn't really worth it, I could have just stayed home, unless your mind is kind of still playing that. So I would like to encourage that the people who are doing this, that they continue, and that the ones who would like to keep contact inside the field of Sangha really take this opportunity and stay within the group for a while until you gain sufficient power to really be on your own in that completeness. So sometimes the casualness of watching at home seems very appealing, but then it's just like watching TV and for some people. Whereas in the atmosphere of a group, it's like another feeling is there. Like if you want to watch football on the television or something, it's one experience. But going live to a match is a very, very different experience, a much fuller experience. So Mira is just pointing that out to encourage people, especially if you don't have to go to such a far way, to make use of that opportunity in your city or in your towns and so on, and build your Sangha. Like this is what you mean? Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm just feeling now, I'll take one more question, please. Who is one that's who needs to come there? You want to be you? Yeah? You want to say?
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
So, I don't have any question, but I was trying to witness that what you were telling me, and I thought I'll stand up and we try to witness together. And I've been witnessing from a long time, and once I was watching Papaji's video, and he was saying that pick up any thought that's going on, and just look at it. And there is a I thought, and keep looking at that.
Yes.
So when I try to look at that, after a while I get distracted.
Okay. So this I thought we must try and see. I'd appreciate I know that many people are probably feeling a bit restless and so on, but we are coming to a close now, and just don't have too much movement around here for a minute. At the back you can do what you like, but what is Papaji meaning by this I thought? Or rather the thought I thought, the I person is what is meaning. The I thought, I me first. When I is limited to the sense of person, this is not the ultimate I. So he's pointing this out. You can witness this I thought. So who is that which is witnessing the I thought or the I self, the I person? What is witnessing that one? You see? What is first clear is that it is witnessable. So isn't it? That's the fact already, that it is being observed. It can be observed. As soon as you recognize it can be observed, you know that the observer is not caught in the box of that I person. It must be something apart. And you experience that. That is, now there's more space because there's no identity as a person now. Then somehow there's still a power that is observing, but is not observing with any particular personal interest. It's just observing the movement of life and thought and so on, but it's not wanting anything from them. It's not creating any relationship with thoughts or, feelings or anything. So this is what I said from the beginning when I talked about the birds in the tree, that there was one bird on a branch building a nest. But on another branch, just above that branch, is a second bird that is just there looking. It looks exactly like the first bird, but it's not building anything. It's only just looking. So let's just keep those two birds in mind for a second. So the first bird, which is the one building, represents the sense of the person who has a life, and the building of the nest is like building your business or building your family, building career, building whatever it is, your support system or whatever. You're engaged with life at that level. Above that, on a branch just above, is an identical looking bird, but this bird is not building, it is only observing. So this bird represents now the inner seer, the ability to observe, but without attachment. It doesn't want anything. It's not trying to build a house. It's not trying to become anything. It's simply here, just watching. It's not watching the first bird only. It's not just interested in the first bird. It's aware of the first bird, but it's also aware of the environment. It's aware of the sky and the wind and the air and the trees. It's aware of all the things, and this bird also. And this bird, the first bird, is very much in its focus because it has a kind of link with this bird. But it's two different functions. So this second bird represents the state of presence. The first bird represents the state of personhood. We're getting there, we're there like this. So the person is the one who has an ambition in life and doing all these things and is very much identified with their life. They have desires, they have attachments, they have fears, they have aspirations for the future, they have strong memories to the past, they have a lot of links to material existence, emotional existence, all of this. The second bird is there simply observing. It's not observing like this. It's not restless. It's very still. But yet, at the same time, being still, it is aware, in its stillness, it's aware of a much wider field. The first bird is just building a nest. He's only focused on what he's doing here. The second bird is view is panoramic. It's very open. He's just silence. He's aware of the wind, of the sky, of the air, of the trees, of other birds, of everything. But he's also acutely aware of this first bird because it's more linked, like genetically you can say. They have the same DNA as consciousness, forms of consciousness. Okay? So, the goal, the exercises, the disciplines, the training, the worships, all of these things that is being performed by the first bird is to get to the state of the second bird, actually. If the first bird is still heavily identified with building nests, it will not even notice the second bird. You follow? If it's very, very identified with just building a nest and where to get things from and so on, it will not even be aware of the second bird, although it is linked somehow. But as soon as it's able to be quiet and rest, it becomes aware of this, you may call the second bird, which it is itself actually at a deeper inner level, it becomes aware of this one. When it becomes aware, there's a sense of a unity, okay? Like a oneness, a harmony there. In that harmony, the work may still happen, but without obsession, without fear, without panic, without the sense that something bad is going to happen. It's simply happening because life compels this activity to happen. And yet at the same time, there's a freedom because there's no identity with that particular action. It is as though the action is being assisted by another power is helping the actions to take place. When the first bird's mind is synchronized with the second bird, the activities become much more gracious. When the first bird has no conscious synchronicity with the second bird, its activities are largely wasted. Its activities are largely wasted. You see a spider, you look at how it's the most amazing architect in the universe. Human beings are studying spiders, how they can make something so strong out of material that is so flimsy. And yet the same spider will build a spider web over a motorway. When they're repairing works for a weekend, it will build a spider nest right there. And as soon, it's finished. So that work looks like it's just totally wasted. When your work is in harmony with the cosmic vibration, the work has a greater value. And yet, at the same time, even the work that is done through unconscious efforts, consciousness makes use of it because it does not waste any part of its expression. Everything is used, but not everything is noticed. So we come to the second bird. Second bird is the change of perspective from the mode of person to the state of presence. When you come to the state of presence, your life is a flow. It is a harmony. It is an intuitive knowing that your being is eternal. It's intuitive knowing. There is a joy there, a lightness, peace, abundance. You see? It doesn't mean that your life is all nice, you're not living in a hammock, but your life has a full meaning, full strength, it's got contrast, it's got all of this. But underlying all that dynamic expression is a field of pure serenity, peace, and joy is there. Is that the end? Because most beings, they want to get, once they get to the state of presence, that Satchidananda state, most will be happy to stay here. Thank you very much. If we just press continue, we're happy. We don't want anything more. Forget about enlightenment and all this stuff. We are just quite fine here. But in some rare beings, after some point, some time of simply marinating in that I am awareness, presence, begin to notice, but even this I am presence, although it is constant relative to the activity of the waking state, it seems to be the deity of the waking state, yet at the close of the day, this I am closes shop and goes into oblivion also. So it cannot be the ultimate state, it cannot be the absolute. That is seen, because there cannot be a break, there cannot be a rotation of the absolute state. Then somehow they spontaneously come to see that somehow they are beyond even that elevated state of beingness or the I am presence itself. When you are in the position to notice presence, you are beyond presence as unborn awareness. Unspeakable, indescribable, nothing to describe. But the consciousness in its human expression is not easily attracted to that state, because when consciousness identifies as a person, it tends to want things. It wants the honey. It wants honey. It doesn't want to be the honey. You see? And yet, it is the honey. And it is the taste of the honey. And it is the taster of the honey. And it is the joy of the tasting. And beyond. But because we don't have a way to measure, because conscience says yes, but how do I know it's not a trick? People, his ego says like this. How do I know that, because there's nothing you can tell me about it, then can I go in there safely, and if I don't like it, I can come back out or something like this? So this one will not find it. It's a very natural process. It cannot be forced. You follow like you are doing now. I am very happy with you. For most of you who have come here, I see, not only just physically, but energetically, that a beautiful movement has happened, and that may take a little bit to stabilize, but for sure, here and there will sprout. That clarity will come fully into fruition. It has to do it. There are awakened beings here in this room also. And there are many awakened masters here that you cannot see. Many beings are in support of your satsang. Whatever path you take, energy will come to support you. Whether your path is bhakti, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, karma yoga, the same one energy supports you. I don't have to classify myself. I can say I am Shiva, but I'm also Vishnu. And beyond this thing. I don't say this disparagingly, but beyond the concept of that. Beyond concept. But something guards the door of final understanding, so no arrogance can go there. No arrogance can go there. It is like to be exiled from your own home. It is God who creates this longing in the hearts of sentient beings in order to elevate, to lift up aspiration within them, to search not only for transient things. In the beginning, we spend a lot of time searching only for what is born by time, transient things. But as we grow in truth, your search is for the eternal. And this is what the satsangs here in Rishikesh is about. Awakening to the eternal, to the timeless, to the ever-perfect. It is not a myth, it is not poetry. It is not some far-away concept. It is not a concept. And this is why it has been found to be very intense for some people, because it doesn't require a lot of time to see this. Your ripeness is just your openness or the urge that is moving inside your heart. If you have this pulsation for freedom, already it is grace that brought you here to this place.
If it's here and now, if there's a thought coming in that don't attach, just keep looking, then it feels like if it's here and now,
Yes.
it's just a postponement I'm doing, keep looking.
Yes. If you are not attached to any particular concept, yet you're not afraid of them, because you need not be afraid of them. If you're not attached to to any concept. As I said, don't make tattoos out of any utterance, but make use of them. Follow the pointings until you find rest and peace, and your natural search comes to a natural end, like that. So like this, if you are not tied to any particular, oh yes, I can't give this up. No, look at it, and then look at where you're looking from, and see if where you're looking from is attached to anything. Where you're looking from, is it attached to anything at all? And experience, trust, and digest your discovery. This is all. I don't want to try and convince anyone beyond your capacity. It must already be there. You may look at what seems to stand in your way, and you can bring that forward, and we can see if it is not original to you, it is removable. Anything that is seemingly blocking your understanding, it cannot be original to you, and if it is not original to you, it is removable. You see. So don't go looking for things. Life brings enough by itself. You see, as it comes. And gradually, in the beginning, you want to investigate everything. But gradually, you find, no, instead of doing one by one, I can throw a net over the whole thing. Why not throw a net over the whole universe? Conquer the 5 elements in all of their potential and possibilities.
I was trying too hard to be free.
Yes, yes. Trying too hard to be free can leave you feeling very bound also. But striving for freedom in the correct way, you'll begin to notice how the rope of attachments loosen, how the grip of delusion loosen, and you feel more movement coming, isn't it? If you feel bound by some concepts or whatever, and as you begin to look deeply into them to see their reality or their unreality, you start to find that you have more movement, and you start to move a bit more, and you keep looking and you get more movement. At some point, you'll be free of it, isn't it? But if after 5 years you're still... You say, actually, I mean, can somebody help me? What is this? Because I've seen people do it even with chains. After 1 hour, just one finger, ping, okay, and then ping, and they don't give up. And this freedom is not even difficult like that. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This season, being in Rishikesh here, in its form, is drawing to a close. But in its inner formlessness, it cannot come to an end. What is being pointed in itself can never fail. If I came here and I point you to any object, for me it will be a failing because no object can last. But I point you to the subject, the pure subject, which is pure consciousness. and tried as much to follow, to walk with you so that you come to that recognition your own self. Satsang is not from 10 to 12. Satsang is your life. It does not mean that for all your life you'll be inquiring who did this, who said this, who is going there, who is going... Not like this. When you are successful in your inquiry, everything comes again to silence and peace. Now it's time for me to say to you that I want to say thank you to a large number of people just like you who came here ahead of you to paint these walls and to put these things up and to prepare the stage and to clean the floors and all of this in preparation for satsang, and who have been here throughout the entire season to support, to make sure that you are comfortable, that to give your assistance to you, who came and gave their service for that, who demonstrated true seva. I would like those people who, the volunteers, the Sangha team, just to stand and we just show our appreciation for them. Where are you? Could you stand up? Just those people stand up for me, please. Because thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to say this because many of these beings, they went to bed very late, preparing for the next day, and all of this. We're always around when some people were not feeling well, and just full service. We've had a very big team here, nearly 200 people on the team, which is quite a large number of people. But all of them contributed to somehow the flow of satsangs here in Rishikesh. So for this I'm very, very happy. We did not feel it was right to single anyone out because we are all just one in that way. So I just wanted to acknowledge that, and to Sri Satantrananda, this ashram, for being so kind to us that we came here now. This is the third year that we are coming, and we like this place. Its simplicity, its humility, and this part of town even we like. And so again, so much thank you for them, and I don't know what more to say than that. I would like to call special attention to some people, our friends who are here, who are from India, who have really been in the background working in their own sweet way to make our coming here such a cushioned entrance. So I am going to call Sri Anil, who is coming today. Is it there? Okay, come here for a minute. And Ramdas, I'd like to come. Alumalai, I'd like to come. Kara. Pritam, will you come? Shiva, Jayadev. Yeah. So, they have been our real strength and support here, and also without their presence, things would have been quite a strain. They continue to be so supportive to the work here. Beautiful beings from all over the world who come to be here with us in Rishikesh. So I just wanted to salute you in my heart, say thank you for your presence here. Very, very beautiful. No, thank you. I'm looking to see if I missed anyone out because, you know, I don't prepare these things like that. So thank you, Raj. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, Mooji. Is someone singing today? Who's coming? Huh? One thing I've heard from the various places that we've gone to here in Rishikesh, people make this comment that the people attending satsangs are divine beings. They say that the people there are so beautiful and so peaceful, and I am deeply touched by that, because serenity is not something that you can pretend. So I'm very, very happy. Good, good. Good, good, good.
was a dream. It'll be over in the blink of an eye. Remember who you are. Remember what you are.
Thank you. Last night when we were here, we came for the slideshow, which was very enjoyable. I have to say, thanks again to all those who really put that evening together, put that show together. It was so enjoyable. And so it was asked, could we sing a song? But I feel maybe now is a good time for singing the song. And love you too. Oh, maybe after. Yeah, we have so many things. So they have a big basket of sweets, and if what kind of sweeties are they? Sorry. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know. What's the best way of doing that? They want throw. We can't give one by one. It's too much. What we do? Huh? Some can go out and do. Come up as well. Huh? It's very hot in here, no? You want to come and sit up here a bit with these things. You are always in my heart, never shall we be apart. I am always in your heart, never shall we be apart. Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. It is done, it is done. Hallelujah, it is done. It is done, it is done. Hallelujah, it is done. You are always in my heart, never shall we be apart. I am always in your heart, never shall we be apart. Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. It is done, it is done. Hallelujah. It is done. It is done. It is done. Hallelujah. It is done. You are always in my heart. Never shall we be apart. I am always in your heart. Never shall we be apart. Om Namah Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 It is done. It is done. Hallelujah. It is done. It is done. It is done. Hallelujah. It is done. You are always in my heart. Never shall we be apart. I am always in your heart. Never shall we be apart. Om Namah Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Shri Satguru Ramana ki, Papa Ji ki, Shri Buddha ki, Shri Christ, Shri Krishna, Shri Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Shri Ananda Mahima. Om Namah Shivaya. Om.
Om Shri Mooji Ji ki.
Okay. I don't know when I will see you physically again. I don't know this. Nobody knows. We don't know these things right now. But if you have listened well, if you have followed earnestly inside, if you go to that place and leave everything aside, carry nothing with you, not even I, go to this place whenever you want, and you'll find me there. This is my connection with you. That is my love for you. Thank you.